Hello, everybody. Welcome to hopefully the last night of Miss Liz Cheney's political career. Looking forward to this. My name is Kyle. This is the Conservative Take. This is a live stream, and we have on board, as usual, for these types of things, we have Miss Jackie. She is looking fly. Let's bring her in.
What's up?
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I have to tell you, every YouTube channel page, whatever, everybody's having a bye bye Liz party. I
Are they
can't
really?
believe. I mean, this is some serious lack of affection for us. I've never seen. We've seen other people go, and I've never seen Long Island Loud Majority, Tim Pool. Everybody's got a you're fired night on Liz Cheney tonight. People are actually kind of happy.
Well, I have to do one caveat. I'll get to that in a second. Should I tell you now, or should I just wait?
Let's hear the caveat.
Let me say it now. So Charlie Kirk had a guy on the street in Wyoming at a polling center. Supposedly, two out of every three Democrats were changing their vote to vote for Cheney.
Well, that might be true. That's a Republican state, basically. They went 70% for Trump.
Right.
It may change because of, even myself personally, as devoted as I am to DJT, I was kind of thinking, I was wondering if I wanted him to run again. I wasn't sure that, put us all through all the tweeting and the fighting, and I wasn't sure that I was up for it or the rest of the country. And after Mar-a-Lago, now I'm like, burn it to the ground, Big Daddy, burn it to the ground.
Now
he deserves to be back in office and take a fire hose to that filthy muck swamp and not just get revenge, get the country on the right track. I mean, that's really what it's more important. As much as I enjoy revenge, it's really more important the good of the country that we, clean out the mess.
Well, I'm a ride or die when it comes to Trump. And I agree 100%. And I'd be okay if he did this, if he got inaugurated and like 1 minute later said, okay, DeSantis, it's all yours, and walked off the stage. Because to me, it's a matter of principle.
It is a matter of principle. That's right. And he won the last election.
We are on YouTube. We're on YouTube. So,
all right. Well, somebody has to tell YouTube the truth.
Well, yeah. How about go ahead.
But you remember when he was inaugurated and he looked over at Barack Obama, and there's a great meme, and it says, when the guy who said you'd never be president, because Barack Obama said that many times, he did this little skit on Jimmy Kimmel about tweets, and he said, you will never be president to Donald Trump.
Yeah, He
looked over him at the inauguration, and he was like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
I would like to see that "What's up" again.
There was that thing when he was actually, it was I think it was the press junket they had, when they kind of have the president do a comedy routine and all the press come. And he was actually roasting Trump in the audience. And you can see Trump just nodding his head like, yeah.
Oh, you mean the dinner? Yeah, yes. I remember that.
Yeah. But they say that's what really started with him. I mean, he was always thinking about it, but they said at that point in time, he was like, okay, it's on.
I think Trump did. When he was president, he didn't have that dinner. And I don't think they should have it either, because why should they? There's no reason to spend our money on it. It's meaningless. And, they just went too nasty with Trump. But I got to ask a question.
Sure.
I voted in plenty of primaries. I thought you could only vote for your own party's candidate in the primary.
It depends on the state. We could talk about Alaska, how crazy that one is.
What's going on there with Lisa Murkowski?
Okay, so Lisa Murkowski, what they did was they invoked this thing called, it's basically called a priority voting. So it means there's one primary. It's all parties can be involved in it, but it's the top two, I believe, go to the general election.
That's kind of like what they do in New York, sort of. I don't approve of that, but go on.
But that's what it is. And Murkowski, obviously, she's going to be the one up top, and with the Democrats. So the third party, the one who's backed by Trump, probably is going to be the outside looking in. because they're going to be doing the same thing in Wyoming. They're going to be targeting their votes to the Democrats who they didn't even like.
But I think that is number one. Having that kind of voting, it leaves too much room for manipulation and trickery.
It does. It does. In fact, that's what people are complaining about. Yeah, I was telling Mark about our I don't know if I should say this on the air or not.
What about what?
The bromance.
Oh yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Mark have been. Yeah.
So here's the thing about Liz, though, to be honest. So first of all, I am getting really, really fed up with rhinos. I mean, you tolerated them for a long time, but I think the time for tolerating rhinos, it's causing us too much damage, and we got to get rid of them. And she was not a well-liked person anyway.
Yes, exactly.
Never lived in Wyoming. Her father lived in Wyoming. I heard today on the TV when she filed, I guess, to run in Wyoming, she filed from what's it called? McLean's, Virginia, which is
McLeansville. McLeansville.
Yeah, McLeansville.
Yeah, same thing.
And she although she consistently voted, I mean, she's like even probably more conservative than me in some of her voting. But what I don't like, and for all these never Trumpers, is how dare you? Like, we're not robots that are like, yes, whatever Donald Trump says, we will do. We like and appreciate his policies and his thoughts. And I just feel like people like Liz Cheney are trying to thwart the will of the American people.
Exactly. And you nailed it there. I think Trump's a pragmatist. There's like three things I didn't agree with him on. They were minor, but he's got to be the president for all people. So
true. I did see something disturbing though. I saw this article from it said CNN, but it was a written article, and it was really slanted about what a great job Liz was doing and how she's saving the day. Yeah, I don't need to go on a hunting trip with Mr. Cheney. I like my face too much. I need it.
Yeah, be glad you picked out his birdshot and not Buck.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot what I was going to say, but in any case, they said even if she doesn't win her primary tonight, they said she'll be back in the fall, continuing her hit TV series, the January 6th trials. So that's not over. And I guess, well, she won't be out of office, obviously. This is a primary. So she will come back and probably be just the same old. I mean, I don't know anybody. I don't even know anybody on the left that's watching that January 6th stuff.
They need to really ramp that thing up, because if they don't, there's going to be a lot of retaliatory action once they lose the House in 2022. So they need to ramp that thing up and just say, hey, we lost, and let's just keep it going.
Do you think there's any chance we could not win the House due to trickery and skullduggery and shenanigans?
Well, what they're setting us up now for is that the congressional generic ballot has tightened. So, but whereas before it was like GOP up 5 or 6 as of like 2 months ago, now it's dead even. But really, when we were only down by 2, there was a landslide. So anytime that's even close in the ballpark, there's going to be a landslide in the Reds' favor. Now, if we're down, let's say generic ballot, let's say November, down 10, then yeah, I'd be a little worried. But
well, first of all, how much were we down in the 2016 election?
Oh, well, the general election is a lot different than the primary.
Right, but I'm just saying, I don't really believe polls too much, but I do believe that there's cheating and shenanigans, and that's what I'm more worried about.
Yes, I didn't answer your question. I didn't answer your question. The question really comes to a primary being a little bit more difficult because you're dealing with House races. What they did in the 2018 was when Trump lost the House, was they flooded with a lot of blue money at the last minute. I think it was Project Blue, some blue. I'm talking about those guys. They put like $1 billion into last minute elections across the country, and they flooded states like California and New York. And they were states that are liberal with a lot of congressional districts. That way they could, run the table on those states, even though they were a lot of red districts. They were flooding them, even though they're liberal states. And then that shifted the House. I'm not sure if they can do that here, but they're going to try. the sentiment across the country really isn't really good. Now, you see gas prices coming down and people are short-minded. That could be a problem. But and even Biden's numbers are coming. Well, they went down today, but they were going up as of last week. So, you know, it's still early, but I don't see us losing the House at all at this point.
I think that Republican voters are pretty motivated. Even people that maybe don't always vote, I think they're going to vote. And I think there's a lot of people that are really, really in the middle, and maybe they're registered Democrat. I mean, they're gonna vote Republican, because I don't think that the gas prices, like if gas was $1.85 tomorrow, I don't think everybody would be like, okay, problem solved. Because first of all, we're not energy independent. So even if gas goes down this week, who knows where it's going to be next week. I also think there's going to be more supply chain issues, food shortages. The price of food is ridiculous. And Mark Jackson, he's funny. I just don't think, I don't think that they're just going to forget all about it, in other words. And when the FBI does like what they did at Mar-a-Lago, like that really burns in people's, that burns people up. And I think almost everybody, I saw a little clip of Joe Rogan, and he had Seth Dillon on, from the Babylon Bee. And he was saying, well, if he has documents, that's not really fair. And he shouldn't have them. And we all know what the situation is with the documents. Everybody, they gave him free inspection in January and June and all his documents. Let's talk about Hillary's emails. Let's talk about Obama took 33 million or something pieces of documentation for his library when he left. Just stop the nonsense. I don't know how anybody could see this as anything but like an extended Russian collusion.
Yes, 100%, 100%. In fact, the double standard is so apparent. And I think people are seeing that, but I think you nailed it. I mean, I don't know why you're having this show. Why can't you just do your show by yourself? Because I mean, you really hit it there perfect. By the way, you guys, just so you guys know, just a little housekeeping here. I have, and this is a rule. This is definitely a rule. Always go to the state to get the numbers, because that's where everyone gets their numbers from. Everyone gets the numbers. AP gets it from here. Everyone else. So this is the source. So this is where it comes. And it just turned on at 7 o'clock their time, 9 o'clock our time. And we're waiting for returns. I'm curious to see when the returns come in. Is it going to be like in Arizona, where all of the ballot dumps of the the drop boxes and the early voting, the absentee voting, all that stuff came in first? Will that happen in Wyoming? And if it does, it could be a long night, because you'll see a big bump for Cheney.
Why did they use drop boxes in Wyoming?
Funny you should ask that. I have that right here. So drop boxes. Well, it doesn't say why they have it, but it says.
Well, go back to absentee ballot. What's up with that? What COVID's over. What are we doing here?
Well, absentee ballots have always been there. If you're in college, yeah,
but not in people didn't have vote. Absentee ballots weren't big numbers,
right?
No,
it was so rare. Nobody did absentee ballots. I absentee ballot when I voted for Clinton back in the day. I did that because I didn't want to miss a cycle, and I absentee ballot from DC. I mean, from North Carolina to DC, and they mailed it to me. I did it, but nobody did that. Now, like you said, they want 17 days. Looks like we recommend that you have applied for your ballot no later than 17 days before election to allow enough time to process your application. And of course, that goes out the window because, Justice Alito in Pennsylvania told them the same thing, but they didn't care. They were taking ballots the day of and the night of. So it depends on, they can do what they want. It's about, can you challenge it in court? And it sounds like they can, and they usually do. That's what I'm worried about. The litigation process is totally bogus because it never comes down in our favor.
Oh, by the way, here's a little tidbit I got today. I think I mentioned to you last night that I heard something about Liz Cheney's husband. So he is part of a law firm that donated $500,000 to the Democratic Party last year. And I mean, not that this means anything, but another person in that law firm is one of Hunter Biden's defense attorneys for his tax issues. But it sounds to me like it's a real Democratic hotbed.
We're talking about Wyoming? Oh,
I'm talking about Liz Cheney's husband.
And where is he living?
He joined this law firm that donated $500,000 last year to the Democrat I don't know if it was the Democratic Party or against Donald Trump.
Okay, I was thinking state, but you're talking about the law firm is a hotbed, which is weird because she's supposed to be a conservative. I mean, her dad, who was there with her today to vote, it was the vice president under a Republican, president. I mean, I know he's establishment. I get all that, but Cheney was like the devil back in the day with the Halliburton thing and all that stuff. And
They
hated Cheney,
hated him.
and now he's like
But
him
you know
and
what?
Romney. And go ahead.
If you notice, like that whole look at George Bush and Michelle Obama, like that's a whole clique. It doesn't even matter that they're opposite parties. The Obamas, George Bush, Cheney, like that whole gang with Cheney, they're all lined up because they can't stand the idea that a gentleman, a builder from New York who had a TV show, beat the pants. I mean, his numbers were higher than any of their numbers ever were. I think that people that ran for president, like Jeb Bush or other people, they're so angry that Trump jumped into their career and in a year or two and won the presidential election. After some of them have been trying to get in the presidential election, for the last 10, 15 years.
It's a club. In fact, Barack Obama had the same thing happen to him because he wasn't supposed to get the nomination. That was Hillary's. And Bill Clinton the same way. Bill Clinton kind of snuck in there too. He wasn't supposed to get in there. It was, I think it was, who was that guy? He ran for vice president under Gore. I forget the guy's name, Burnson, or I can't remember his name. But he kind of snuck in too. So that was, they were not insiders. Bill Clinton was not an insider, and neither was Barack Obama.
A Man from Hope?
Yeah.
Remember his book? Oh, I know that was a movie about him. But you know what? I can remember during, I guess it was the first Operation Desert Storm, and seeing George Sr. Greeting the troops, and they were surrounding him and they were cheering him, and I said, nobody's going to beat this guy. When you saw all the patriotism and all the love they were sending him, I said, he's definitely going to win the presidential election. And then enter Bill Clinton. Because he was riding high on that whole Desert Storm shenanigan. I mean, the mood was good, and even people that weren't necessarily Republicans were, saying, okay, he's doing a good job, because that gets the people in the country stirred up when it appeared that we did something in the military that was successful. But that died quick.
Well, he won the war too fast. If he drug it out there or whatever, maybe. But I mean,
was he the mission accomplished banner? Was that him or
that was his son? That was his son. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I voted for Clinton. I mean, I'm not gonna say, but let me just jump in here real quickly. We have a person that I don't recognize this person's name. I don't know if it's a male or female, but Taylor Nicholson has a couple of comments here. Let's hope Cheney flops. Agreed. Establishment figures need to be voted out. Absolutely. And she also, I mean, I guess it's, I don't know if it's a Taylor. I'm gonna keep it generic. If Cheney loses, this is going to be a huge push in the right direction. What do you think about that? Do you think that'd be a push in the right direction, or is it just going to be a ceremonial?
If she wins because Democrats voted for her, when are they going to be able to replicate that? Oh, you're watching Timcast? Thanks, Taylor.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Tim. I didn't realize Timcast was doing something tonight. And by the way,
Jack Posobiec on again. He just had him on
he had Jack Posobiec on the show.
He had him on a couple days. He has him on frequently.
Tim's gonna get banned.
Yeah, I don't think so. He has Jack on all the time. Well, but anyway, so tonight is they're calling it the Liz Cheney demise party or something. And they have another guy on that I don't recognize, an older gentleman. But that's really cool to put that in Timcast IRL.
Okay, it's a guy. All right, cool. I know how to address you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor.
I appreciate it. Because that's insulting. I mean, I'm old school. I try, address people the way they want to be addressed within reason. Okay, we'll put it that way.
Caesar, all that.
I'm a toaster. Don't you call me toaster? If you don't call me toaster, Jackie, you are a racist bigot.
I'm a black woman. Watch yourself.
Hey, if you feel it, that's all you. Okay, so Mark Jackson again smiles. That's awesome. So I was gonna say something here. Oh, so if anyone has a good feed that's more graphical than this, I mean, this is okay. It's raw numbers, but it's not pretty, and it's not good for TV or air or whatever. So if you have the actual, I know the returns haven't come in yet, But if anyone has like the Washington Post or see, the problem is now everything is like pay. You have to pay for the New York Times. You got to pay for the Washington Post, so you can't get a good, ticker. So if anyone has a good website that has that reasonable real time, it'd be nice to know. I'll go right.
You know what? Next year, when you're even bigger time, you'll have one of those boards that you go over and touch. Touch and the numbers pop up. That's what you need.
Yeah, exactly. When when the economy gets to the point where we're all moving into your house.
Yeah,
and then we'll do that. We'll just knock out some non-load bearing walls, and we'll set up a whole massive TV epicenter in there.
You know what? That would be so awesome because then we could like broadcast every night. We could have guests on.
There you go. And by the way, thank your son so much. Thank your son so much for the gift he gave my son. That was awesome. Did you see it?
No.
I'll show it to you after.
Okay.
He gave him a shirt. It's awesome. A
G.I. Joe. Oh, my son?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that shirt.
He gave him a G.I. Joe shirt. It's so awesome with I think snake eyes. Cool.
I said it's a little big. Jonathan said I'll grow into it.
So for those who don't know, my son is 6 and her son is older, and he gave him a G.I. Joe shirt, which is about the size I can wear. And G.I. Joe from the 80s version, with Snake Eyes and all of them, Duke and Mary Jane, all those people. We watched G.I. Joe as a kid. He watches it now. I show him the reruns. And it's a little adult form in some ways, but talks about, a lot of interesting things that, because Cobra is like a terrorist organization.
Right.
And their bullets are blue and the good guys' bullets are red. So I'll tell you.
You know what I think we should bring back? Cowboys and Indians or toy soldiers. I've even played them with my brother all the time. The soldiers. I love those toy soldiers. What do you got there?
Cowboys and Indians.
Ah, right. So how much fun was that? We had little
Cowboys and Redskins.
They were so much fun.
Yes, it was. I was always a cowboy.
We always had the girls always had to be the Indians. My brothers always were the Cowboys, and me and my sister got stuck with the Indians.
Yeah, cool. So let me play a quick clip here, just because I got it queued up. Since we got nothing going on, this is your press secretary, and it's about 10 seconds. Check it out.
The pain that American families are feeling.
Start over.
About doing that. I mean, the president has been very clear in making sure that he does everything that he can to alleviate the pain that American families are feeling.
She said to elevate.
To
alleviate.
There's something to say about that, where you say something that you mean and then you actually flip to
like a Freudian slip.
Yeah, but you actually mean it, but you are trying not to say what you mean and you say it anyway.
She said the quiet part out loud.
Exactly. There you go.
I like the clip I saw this weekend of Biden was riding his bicycle and somebody said, "Hey, will you come talk to us?" And he said, "No, we got to go get bathing suits." Like, it was just so ridiculous. I got to go buy some bathing suits.
Yeah. Mark Jackson says here, Bush Jr. mission accomplished on the carrier. He had a big banner too, and so
I watched it on live TV, and I was like, "What?" I mean, I even knew, like, what? How's it accomplished? And fast forward, how many years later, and we still are all mixed up over there.
Well, not Mogadishu. What was the thing where they had Bin Laden trapped and they missed him? That happens. And then they had all those Fallujah battles, and so it kind of became a quagmire. He did it way too early. It was bad optics. For the day, it was good optics, but then it turned into a nightmare because of all those. It was just.
I mean, really, yeah. it almost is still going on. Almost, we got the proxy war in Syria.
Right.
There's and recently there's been a lot of articles about. They said, surprising, the Taliban is not as progressive as the administration hoped they would be. They're not giving like women high positions, and they're not, somehow their progressive ideals that they promised they would do, they're not carrying them out.
Talking about the
Taliban.
Yeah, well, Trump had those guys dead to rights, and
Trump had them good.
And then, of course, they let him back in there.
I wonder if Trump really did send him a picture of his house. Like, that was a pretty cool move. Have you heard Trump talk about that?
Well, no, we were at SAS when he mentioned he told the story. You want to relay it, or?
Right. I think probably because I've heard him tell it at one of his rally speeches recently. how he sent, I forget the guy's name, a picture of his house. And the guy was like, why'd you send a picture of me in my house? He goes, I just want you to know, if you do anything, you can say goodbye to that, you know? Like, I thought that was pretty badass.
Well, you know, Reagan did that to essentially to Gaddafi. He bombed his house. And after that, he was pretty good for the next 20 years.
Good old Muammar.
And Muammar was minding his own business, man. I know he was a ruthless thug, but he kept his place, man. And Hillary Clinton came in there and just basically, Obama essentially, you know, the whole red line thing. And then the whole, what's that, Arab summer or what, Arab Spring?
Arab Spring.
And then, and then that whole thing set that area to a point where it became destabilized. And then by killing him, and now it's just everything they touch, just leave it alone, man.
Jack Prosoback this week sent a tweet out saying Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were running guns to Syria through Libya, and they got caught, and the way they solved the problem was letting an ambassador and soldiers be murdered.
Yeah, that's Benghazi. And that's the thing, man. So did you see that movie 13 Days? Did you see it?
No.
That's pretty brutal.
It's not alleviate. I saw that comment. It's alleviate. What is that girl's name? I forget, but Dave Rubin's so funny.
Jean Parade.
Yeah, he calls her like, he calls her something like Black bisexual Jean Marie, and he calls Buttigieg Gay Pete. Because, I mean, I think it is factual that Buttigieg is where he is because he's gay, and they wanted to, and that woman, Jean Pierre.
Right.
She's gay and black, so she's like a, 2 for 1.
Right. And I think she's got ethnic. She's got some other things going on in terms of like island where she's born.
I think she's like Haitian or something.
Yeah. And she acknowledged it, even put it straight forward in her initial speech.
She said, to think a person like me, a bisexual black woman from not from this country, whatever. And it was like, how about how qualified are you? Which I think, as much as we didn't like Peppermint Patty, I think Peppermint Patty was better at the job than gay black Jean Pierre.
Well, how about how this guy does for his press conferences?
$100,000. No one. Let me emphasize, no one earning less than $400,000 a year will pay a penny more in federal taxes.
That's a lie.
Folks.
Do you feel better about that, Jackie?
Lie 779. He just lies. I mean, there's not even any point.
Yeah, I don't know when they're going to have the polls are closed. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I was hoping this wouldn't take longer than an hour. I was hoping to see like a huge bump, and then that'd be it. And what I may do for everybody, we may just, when you get to an hour or so, if nothing happens, we may just. I'll be on Truth Social tonight, tweeting it up anyway. So, let's go see what we have here. We have some comments here. Let's go through. I gave Mark the hand because he said that once I get big time, I'll give him a brown hand. So, and not talk to him. So I'm gonna give my brown hand now and not talk to him because we're on chat, so I can't talk to him. So if that matters, we have capital J numbers coming in. Hagman's off to lead over Cheney. What numbers? Okay, capital J. Thank you for that. I want to know where you're getting it from because I'm at the source and they're not updating. I'm doing exit polling.
I'm checking a lot of places and I'm not seeing anything.
It could be exit polls. Yeah. So supposedly this should be done first, but we'll, who knows now? This could be if that's the case, then we could be getting a little shenanigans coming in.
This is Fox News, and they have Hagerman with 3,000 votes and Cheney with 2,900 votes.
All right, let's go there. Fox News. I don't like going there, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, we're against Fox now. Fox is out, but I'll use their information.
I could do and these pop-ups are ridiculous. So
I know they are really ridiculous.
What do you think? I need to go here?
I'll
just saw live results. Hold on, here we go.
Yeah,
let's go back. I thought live results. Let's go to that. Crap.
They also have the governor of Wyoming. Let me see. Did I see Lisa Murkowski?
No, they got it up top. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We'll stick with this. This is what I want. Something graphical. I'm not going to go through polling precincts. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Besides, people are going to come on the stream and see a chart and be like, oh, screw that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Capital J. Awesome. Oh, I got
Capital J.
Hey Jay, for the moment, I have Liz behind 40 some odd points. That's great. The gets. If I say your name wrong, help me out. Thanks, Obama, Hillary.
Fogettes. I've seen videos of that slave market, and man, I there's no words. There's no words to look at that. I've watched a couple documentaries about. Well, I didn't even know, like Muammar Gaddafi. Like there was a whole section of people. I want to say that its name is like Tutu, but it's not Tutus. That he took away their papers and told them they weren't Libyans. Like he literally took their birth certificate, driver's license, and everything, and they could own nothing. So yes, he was a bad guy, but between that and then what Obama Hillary did, it's a hellhole. And so many people go through there to try to escape, to try to migrate. So the desert is full of drug runners and slavers, and it's so dangerous. And a lot of migrants get caught and captured there and get sold. I mean, it's not like anything you would think that we would ever see while we're alive. It's like biblical, pre-biblical times. And yes, that is 100% on those two people.
Yeah, she's right. I'm 100% agree. And I everything you said there was perfect. It's great. And Capital J piggybacks on that by saying about Capital. He says about Benghazi.
13 hours. Yeah.
Wow. That was so terrible. They just left them out there to dry. You know, and then if I remember correctly, the people that broke orders to go in there got punished or got something. Did they get punished or did they get put up for charges for violating orders?
I think they had charges, but I don't know. I don't remember if that, like, I didn't follow it through.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man.
And what did Hillary say? What does it matter?
Dude, I don't want to jump around here, but I'm going to forget if I don't. You remember that montage where she says, "What difference does it make?"
Yeah, that's it. That's what she said.
That is no. They've seen that video where they clip it all together.
Yeah, but when she said, "What difference does it make?" That's when she's talking about Benghazi.
Yes, absolutely.
And she's going like, "Well, what does it matter? It's over now.
Yeah.
Spilt milk."
Yeah, and then the whole they want to say a thing about the documents that President Trump had, and then they put the montage on top of that, and then kind of did a thing against her emails, and they had guess the guys who's the FBI director at the time, tall guy, not Ray. The other.
I know. Wait. Not Mueller. He turned out to be a real crackpot.
Yeah,
guys, what's the name of the FBI director? The one that was gonna prosecute Hillary, then he was the investigator. What's his name?
He's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, he actually before all this, he was kind of handsome.
But him, anyway, they did the whole montage for that. It was really a good clip.
I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot because Joe almost. It's the gets. You know what? I think there's some sort of brainwashing going on here because every time I see that stuff, it's almost like a brain cell's lost because I feel like they're taking my intelligence for granted. And I feel almost dehuman. That do you really talk to me? You're actually talking to me like I'm a dog.
James Comey. Sorry.
Comey, yes.
Yeah.
They're actually talking to us like this, telling us like the sky's orange. No, it's not yet. It is. It's clearly blue. I'm looking right at it. No, it's orange. If you're not going to put you in jail. Seriously.
They do, and but no reporter. If you ever notice, like when Jean Pierre's on, Peter Doocy calls her out, and once in a while, people will say things. But as a rule, everybody just goes,
Okay, here we go. So essentially, after looking at the, I'm sorry, guys. My mind is. After looking at this particular district, there's only one congressional seat for Wyoming. Is that right?
Yes, I did. I read that tonight. Yeah, they only have one.
So even DC has one. So they're the same level as DC. The cesspool of DC. Well, DC is a non-voting member, so I guess that's better.
I was going to say DC is not a state. They shouldn't have anything.
They have a representative. They
should have nothing. I'm writing Amnesty International about what's going on in that jail with the January 6th people.
Oh, cool. If
they have any backbone, they'll look into it.
So I guess Casper is What's the capital of Wyoming? Is it Casper? It's not Casper, is it?
No, it's
Oh,
not Casper.
Cheyenne. Cheyenne, right?
Cheyenne, yeah.
Cayenne or Cheyenne?
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. Okay. Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time in Wyoming, other than no, that's Montana. I'm thinking about Kevin Costner.
Oh, but you saw that Kevin Costner endorsed Liz Cheney. When I was looking at some things for tonight, I saw that and I was like, what makes Kevin Costner think anybody cares?
Because Yellowstone.
Yeah, well,
that show's hot. I don't care. I mean,
one thing I do like about Cheney's opponent, she is a attorney and she spends a lot of time fighting the government on restrictions that they put on the water and the land and the overregulation. And that's my kind of woman.
I got her right here somewhere. I was looking up some of her speeches, but I couldn't get Hagerman right.
Yeah.
Here it is. I had her website up, but here it is. Yep, I had it. And so, yeah, no, you want to talk to me about her a little bit? We talked about it in the green room. You said that she was a what before?
She was a never Trumper when Trump, way back when, before he even got the nomination, and she spoke very poorly of him, and she said he should never be president and things like that. But now at this point, I mean, even before he endorsed her, she said he's the greatest president of my lifetime, which nice. I think Kyle would say, and I would say, lifetime so far.
Well, I lived through Reagan. Reagan was awesome, but I didn't really appreciate him. I was still fairly young. But looking back on it, I think he was better than Reagan in some ways. I think had he got a second term, it would be a no-brainer. But essentially, he was on his path to being our greatest president since Lincoln. And
I think history will reflect that. Even the Abraham Accords. I mean, even if you're a practicing Christian, you have to appreciate that, what he did in Israel and putting some of those peace things together. I think that President Trump will be looked upon favorably. And also if you're pro-life, I mean, if he hadn't put those Supreme Court judges in, Roe v. Wade wouldn't have gotten overturned.
Yes.
I think that he will be thought upon kindly. And I think that Joe Biden will be thought as like we put a criminal in office. If you want to think that in office, I don't know if we put him in office or he just ended up in office.
Let's go to the New York Times. They have good stuff. Unfortunately. Yeah, I agree.
That reminds me though, when I think of New York Times and elections, do you remember that beautiful night back in 2016?
I'd rather not.
Calling like 90% for Clinton.
I'd rather not.
And then all of a sudden,
that year. Yeah. Well, I recall a few years ago, I was sitting right where you're sitting in that same room about to throw up. So there is that.
Yeah, there was that. Well, actually, things weren't looking too badly till we woke up in the morning.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it.
But I remember in 2016.
See, you got to pay for this. See, you got to pay. Screw you, New York Times.
Yeah, see? They're filthy anyway. You remember the 2016 election? I was online with like you and my hairdresser all night. Then I actually fell asleep at like midnight and woke back up at 1:30. And I was like, what happened?
Oh my gosh. Let's talk 2016.
Yeah. Does everybody remember? Everybody listening? Sometimes when I get blue, I put on one of those montages from election night.
Oh my gosh.
And it's so good. You have to remember the good times.
I watched every single, and this is not an exaggeration. You know, people like your team wins the Super Bowl and you watch the highlights for like a week or a month at a time. I watched literally every single live stream I could find, except for the Washington Post, who deleted their live stream. You can't find it anymore. Oh, I actually downloaded every single one of them, so I have a whole library of hundreds of hours of election. Yes, I got them all. Trust me, I had them all, and I watched them all at least 3 or 4 times. I watched them for like 6 months after the election. And going on, it was just. I mean, I was on a high for so long, and yeah.
What a night it was! And then even the next day, when you heard about Hillary raging and freaking out in her room and all that, it was so wonderful.
I got the book. I got the book where she had documents where she basically was throwing things to TV sets and stuff. Yeah, the book is interesting. The whole election night is really
Who
interesting.
wrote that book?
I'll bring it up for you. I don't have it queued up here, but I have it. It's I can have to pull it up real quick.
I'll bet that what a night it was though, and you saw people on CNN and MSNBC, and they couldn't believe it. It was amazing.
If you can talk a little bit, I'm gonna pull it up now.
Yeah, well, I'll see. I just know that when you're down and out and things aren't going your way, put on the montage from the 2016 election, and it'll warm you up a little bit.
No, I can't do it because I'm on my regular. I'm not on my main router because I want faster connection, so I can't talk to my regular.
That's all right. I can look it up later.
Yeah, it's pretty good though. Anyway,
it was good times, and you know what? If 2024 comes through for us, it'll be like even better.
I'm getting excited over Liz Cheney going down. I'll take any win I can get. Right now, she's down by what, 20 points, roughly.
The problem with the drop boxes and the absentee voters, it almost like it's not going to matter what it says now.
Sure.
Because we'll wake up tomorrow and it could say something completely different.
Yeah, they did that with your boy out in Nevada, Reed. They did it with Pat McCrory in North Carolina in Durham County. They did it with your boy up in the guy with the glasses, the comedian from Saturday Night Live. I keep forgetting his name. The short guy.
By the way, he came out and endorsed Liz Cheney yesterday.
Yes, that guy. Yeah, they did it with him. I thought he won. That's the game plan. They find out how many they need, and then they just give it a little shove.
Get the printing press going, the old ditto machine, fire it up, and start.
Hey, Fred, what? We need $6,000. Okay, whatever.
Who's got them?
Okay, we're gonna be gone now. I'm looking at my green check mark on YouTube here. It's still there. So if that goes out, you know the channel's gone. So right now we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble simultaneously as always. So yeah. So what else?
Well, I think some of our listeners, some of your viewers, they have access to even updated numbers too.
Okay, let me go to some comments. When in doubt, read comments. Okay, cool. Let's go. You got a bunch of stuff here. I'm sorry, guys, for being late on this. Numbers are coming in. Hageman's off to Liz Cheney. Got that already. 13 hours. Your times. You suck. Jack. Okay, I'll put up on the screen here. This is Marky says 13 hours. Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Must watch.
I'm afraid I'm going to get too upset. But thank you, Mark. One of these days I'll do it.
Hey, Mike. How are you? I'm not sure if I remember you being on here, but welcome. And
USA.
And anybody here is new. If you don't want anything put on the screen, put a little asterisk or say don't put it on the screen. I'll keep it private. And if you have a comment, I'll get to it because we don't have 1,000 of them at a time yet. One day it will be a problem. I won't be able to do it, but until we get that big, we won't have to worry about it. But I will put a star by it. I'll get back to it when it fits the conversation. Yep. So Mark is here saying thanks, welcome. The Gat said, "You must get it before. You must get it before I get it, Jackie." I click on the screen.
I did.
Okay. Because Fox has always been compromised. Carrie Lake quit working for them when they. Oh, I didn't realize she worked for Fox News.
Yeah, she did. But you know what? Tha, I like your name. That's actually when I stopped watching Fox. When they did that on election night, there was just no reason for it. I was already sick of them from having Donna Brazile and other like liars and cheaters. Why do you pay money to somebody and put them on that we know is a liar and a cheater? And I'm supposed to look at them as some kind of authority of what? Of what?
And Donna Brazile is very compromised. I mean,
please.
I mean,
I can go down to jail. I'll go down to jail and get 3 women out tonight that have better record than that Donna Brazile.
Well, look at the colluding that was going on with the debate. That was proven. She gave them the questions.
She admitted it in her book. She admitted it.
Ridiculous, man. And they get it. You know what? I can't. This is a happy night, Jackie.
All right.
Stop
it. So CNN has 4,200 votes for Hagerman and 3,000 for Cheney.
Oh, really? Well, they're not on board because Fox News has it a little bit higher. Let me just tell you how these things work, guys. Typically, these outlets, they have their discrepancy. They have the discretion to find numbers wherever they find them. and they're at their own integrity level to put it out there at their own
Like
demise.
using their best judgment.
Exactly. So they do their best, but they don't have this. What do they call it? Work. I'm terrible, guys. I'm trying to remember what they call that. When they have people together, the ballot people together, they're going over the numbers, going over the precincts, they're going over what they think is going to happen, what outstanding votes are out there, what's coming in, and then they hedge and so then they make a call. Those people are different across the board, and AP does a certain way, and everyone else. So just because Fox calls it doesn't mean that whatever has to call it. But I'll tell you one thing who called it pretty well on the 26th was Trafficker Group. I'm sorry, on 24. Well, 20 was Trafficker Group and the Epoch Times, who didn't call it until like a day of the inauguration, because at that point they could call it, but there were still questions up until the inauguration.
Who'd you say, Epoch Times and who?
The Trafficker Group.
I don't know them.
They're a polling agency, so they weren't really calling it, but they were essentially saying that these are our numbers, and this is what Trump should have won these states, and these are our numbers, because they use ground game numbers. They don't use phone calls. They use based on real data and aggregate it based off of that. So it's different than calling someone on the phone who's not going to be there, because the cell phones are no longer being answered anymore, and landlines aren't being answered anymore. And when they do get answered, it's by people who are older.
Very few people have landlines,
yeah.
I think.
And the numbers are skewed, so they have to apply assumptions to get their numbers, their polling aggregate can work. And that's why the numbers are widely different, because they anticipate X number of Democrats, X number of Republicans, X number of blacks, X number of whites, X number of women, X number of everyone else. And then they extrapolate it based off of that.
But shout out to the Epoch Times. I really like them.
They have really, really good stuff. I'm really impressed by their content. And do you pay for them?
I just signed up the same time you did.
Well, they give it free now. If you're on Truth Social and you click on through Truth Social, you get the article for free.
Well, I can't be on Truth Social because I don't have a communist phone. I have an American democratic South Korean phone. So, because my principles are my principles.
You got to do what you got to do. He's voting DeSantis 2024. Do you think he'll run in 2024?
We don't know. We can't figure it out. I think it's unusual that he went to Arizona to speak. I think he's trying to up his national profile. I don't know. One of my friends, well, someone I work with, he happens to be the son of the CEO. So he has access to probably large amounts of cash. So I never talk about politics to him, but I mentioned something about DeSantis, and he said, "Oh, I got invited to a dinner for him tonight out in the Hamptons." I should have asked him. I bet it was like $25K a plate. But that sounds to me like he's trying to raise money for a presidential run. But I don't know what's going to happen if I hate to see a DeSantis Trump fight. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I think he may be in a situation where he may be trying to be in a position in case he needs to run.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he may be called on to run for whatever reason. Trump may not want to run. And if Democrats have it their way, he won't run.
Tucker Carlson said tonight that Trump's going to be indicted.
Oh, without a doubt. They're going to indict him, and they're going to arrest him, and they're going to make a show out of it. And they're going to push it to the courts, and hopefully he won't get on the ballot, and make him fight it in court, and then hope that they can run the clock so he can't be eligible to be on all the ballots. But they're not going to stop him, because they're not going to find anything on him to acquit him. He's going to have to fight this in court no matter what. And the fact that he's calling for the affidavits is a good move, because in the affidavit, we're talking about the thought is hearsay, nothing solid, a rumor, and that's why he wants to release it, to expose everything, which is why they had the warrant was 1 page, and it's the warrant said, see the affidavit, which was sealed.
And who do you think's behind that?
Who behind the warrant, or
this project? Let's Get Trump Part 7. Who's the money? Who's the deep state? Like, who is it? I think it's a cabal.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, who knows?
I'd like to know.
He basically threatens a lot of people.
Well, I think that it's going to be people that we don't even know who they are. Like, we've never heard their name before, but they're probably power people behind the scenes. I just want to say to Thaw, thank you. That's what someone had sent. She made a comment about they broke chain of command to try to rescue their friends, which I hope that's what I would do as well. I don't know, though. I think what they did was pretty brave.
I didn't watch the entire movie. I was so upset I couldn't watch any more of it. I got to the part where they were breaking into the embassy, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I need to finish watching it. But it was really, really well done, what I did see. And the frustration from the people, because they had plenty of time to get out of there. I mean, plenty of time. Plenty of time. It was like, and by the way, that embassy was unattainable. It was in the middle of nowhere. There was no hills around. There was no fortification. It was just a fence around. It was no way to defend that area. Who made that? Whoever put the embassy there was an idiot.
Probably was Joe Biden's brother, the builder, that built all that stuff in the Middle East.
I mean, it just was not a good position to put a thing like that unless you had serious military and perimeters around it for miles.
Especially in a dangerous country like that.
Yeah, I mean, there are rockets that can fire, several miles, man, and with pinpoint accuracy. Not so much pinpoint, but enough to cause a ruckus. You saw what happened in Iraq when they were going to launch those Scud missiles left and right. You launch enough of them, one's going to hit.
I forgot about those Scuds. Man and a Half. Is this a new follower?
Well, I'll tell you. I don't know if he wants me. I did real his identity, but he's part of our inside group on Telegram, on Signal. So, but yeah, he's been around for a long time.
If Biden's pants should have caught on fire and burned up a year ago with all the lies he tells. No one under 400, just like he said he wasn't going to mandate the vaccine for it. I mean, he said a million lies so far, and I'm not even sure that he remembers what he said. Hutu and Tutsi. No, I know those tribes, but I'm talking about this tribe in Libya.
That's Rwanda. That's Rwanda.
Yeah, they were the ones that were macheting each other's.
Yep.
Cutting their arms off.
That was Hotel Rwanda. That's a great movie, by the way, with Don Cheadle. I watch it every couple of years just to get my blood boiling.
There's so many things I can't watch because I get too mad.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, they blamed it on them, and it wasn't even the assassination wasn't even related to them. They were just used as scapegoats for political power. That's ridiculous. Here we go. Yeah, he has it here. So yeah, she says here. I mean, the Hutus and Tutsis were the Rwanda genocide. So let me ask you a question. Since you're on this, what about Black Hawk Down? What did that play a role in? Because I thought that happened a few years after Rwanda, right? And what role did that have to do with it, if at all? Just curious. The Black Hawk Down and the Rwanda. I think was that the same country that they did Black Hawk Down?
I don't know anything about.
No, that was Somalia. That was Somalia. Never mind. I get my stuff mixed up. But I thought we did something with Somalia too. I thought we did some aid to Somalia.
Well, remember there was a very long famine in Somalia.
And then the warlords came in and took all the proceeds from the UN.
Well, you know what? You can find, even on YouTube, I was watching, there's these groups out there. There's like so many like undercover, shadowy groups. So there's these people, there's a tribe in the desert there that raise camels, and the camels are so magnificent. Wealthy Middle Eastern people come there and to buy the camels, and they show them like pulling up in their limos, and they're bringing out bags of money to buy these are like the finest camels in all the land. And it just blows your mind that there's a whole society of people living like that we don't know anything about. There's still a lot of nomadic groups through the desert.
We have a lot of comments on the Somalia and the Rwanda. I'm starring them so we can get to them at some point. But a lot of good conversations going on. Yeah. So to your point, Jackie, with the camels, he said that the best camel money can buy.
Well,
I mean, think about it.
Like thousands.
If you-
Like hundreds of thousands.
I mean, if you don't have a good camel, you're going to die.
Well, but
Right?
these are the same people that also have Rolls Royces, so they don't really need that camel. But I think in certain cultures, that's a sign of
Oh, I'm thinking
power
about
and wealth is to have the finest camels in all the land.
well, I'm thinking about, I say camel, I'm thinking about in the middle of the desert with no water or nothing, and you got to get somewhere, and you need an animal that's going to get you there, and camels can do that. So, but no, that's a luxury item. It sounds like a camel.
It's just amazing how these people live. It's just amazing.
Well, speaking of that, let's talk about Kevin Costner a little bit because he's my favorite. Well, used to be my favorite actor. But he says here he's from California. Someone said that, and this guy here, Pyro Robo 69, Costner's an actor. He got paid to wear her
T-shirt.
I guess.
Well, yeah, he came out. I don't know why he would be.
You're talking about Cheney.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you now. Okay, yeah, and he voted for Bernie, so that's disappointing because I still think about Kevin Costner. His speech he gave with Whitney Houston's funeral was fantastic.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, but he's a commie. I hate that. Well, let's go back to some of these comments here since no one's really talking about it. Let's talk about Taylor says we're going to show Kevin Costner that has endorsed the wrong candidate. Absolutely. And speaking of which, look at the refresh here. Only 7% in. Oh, sorry, 8%. And Hageman is expanding her lead by 35 points. Still a long way to go. However, if these are high population centers, then we should be in good shape. I like to see Cheyenne come in first. If that comes, that's what they're going to try and do. But first of all, let me just say this. I don't think there's enough votes to even flip to get it to be the other way around. However, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it through the population center. I'm assuming Cheyenne is going to be that center. So they're going to wait till the last minute, which is the most populous area, and say, okay, hey, Fred, what?
Yeah.
We need 8. What? How many you need? Doing those kind of numbers. And
yeah, because Wyoming went 70% for Trump.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure they have enough registered Democratic voters if all the Republicans went out.
They don't. They don't. I've checked that already. But when does that stop them?
Yeah, honestly.
We need to stop. I'm going to get banned forever.
Listen, let's keep it real. This is the real channel.
Well, we have to go over the Rumble. Let me see.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson, the theme was Tutsis are taking all the wealth. If we kill them, we will take over their farms and businesses. That theme repeated in South Africa and commies in USA today. Yeah. South Africa is another bad thing.
That is another bad thing.
They were getting the white farmers and
they're just taking their stuff now and just killing them, burn whatever. It's
nothing
not
to do
good.
with it.
I had such high hopes. But you know what I think this really proves? All people are racist, and all people have the potential inside of them to act in an unfair, racist manner. It doesn't matter what color. Like that is not. There's a lot, especially progressives. That's a white thing. No, my darlings. Unfortunately, it's not.
It's a human thing.
Yeah.
It's a human thing, man. It's like, everyone's capable of the worst things, and it just, it's the whole thing like Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, and he's choking.
Well, that's a very funny movie, and that's a great story.
It was the Dukes. It was the Dukes. You're a dead man, Valentine.
Billy Ray. But the fact is, I mean, look at in the Middle East, there's a lot of factions there that have been fighting each other for hundreds of years.
And they're the same color.
Africa is sort of the same way.
Well, look at Serbia. And I was a Democrat back in the day under the Serbian War. I guess it was Bosnia, and they were
remember how terrible that was?
They're
and the
all
war
white.
crimes were horrifying.
I'm a black militant back then. I'm like, okay, they're all white. What's the problem, right? So it's like,
I'll tell you what. If anybody on here, if you follow Jimmy Dore, he has a lot about. So first of all, he was very anti-Ukrainian, like getting involved in the Ukrainian war, as I was. But I saw a video last night. There's 5,000 people leaving the Ukraine to go into Soviet territory, Russian territory, to live. And they got all this stuff packed in their car, but they're not allowed to say they're going there. So it was really kind of comical. It's like a man with his wife, his mother, and 2 little children. And he's like, oh, we have a dentist appointment. We're just going for a dentist appointment. And the car's packed with everything they own. They're fleeing the Ukraine to go live in Russian-held territories because it's safer.
Al Franken.
Al Franken, thank you. That's who that was. I mean, what's going on over there is just blowing my mind. And the millions of billions of dollars we sent over there that was taken by oligarchs and neocons and weapons manufacturers. They've caught some of the weapons we've sent being smuggled out of there and sold on the black market already.
Right, exactly. Do you see with the anniversary today with Afghanistan?
No, what?
Well, I know I'm changing the subject a little bit here, but you know the weapons that we left when we surrendered.
Oh my God! Please.
They were like, you know, they had like these Hummers pimped out with like, you know, spinners and like, you know, I'm kidding, but no, they were just showing the.
I think we have Black Hawk helicopters there for them.
They got all kind of stuff. And not only the Black Hawk helicopters, the new ones. They just been remodeled.
I don't think Kevin Costner even remembers that he said something good about Liz Cheney, because why would he even care? Pedo Joe.
I like her.
Wait, what his son calls him, Pedo Pete, right?
Yes, that was in one of those texts, right? In the emails. I'm sorry, Raymond Garcia.
Wait, go back to that Donna Brazil comment.
Hi, Raymond. How you doing? I didn't see you on here. I'm not remember your face on here, but thank you for coming on. One American News Network. Yeah, you know what? I should do that, but you know what? I can't do the audio on that, so I can try and pull it in, but I won't get the audio. What were you saying, Jackie? I'm sorry.
But Seth Rich was the one that was shot like in the back, and they said he committed suicide.
Well, there's a bunch of them, like, you know, Foster. But I mean, I don't know much about the Seth Rich deal, but I remember Donna Brill said that scared her. I do remember her saying that. She said that
she should have been scared. And you know, I mean, let's face it, the Clintons have too many bodies for them to just be accidental, and they have to have something to do with it. I don't really know what. I see them as very bad people, but not necessarily murderers. But let's face it.
And we talked about Breitbart, I think last live stream, about that, his whole death, how weird that was. I mean, he's perfectly healthy at a bar, walks down the street, next thing he drops dead. That was some of that
KGB poison, probably.
Yeah, that was really strange. But wow.
Wait, let's take a moment, because speaking of telling on pedos, the clip, I'm sure everyone saw it at Alex Jones's trial when the lawyer for the other side said, so you talk a lot about politicians being involved with pedophiles and pedophile rings, blah, blah, blah. And Alex Jones said, what do you mean, like Hillary Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein, or the Clintons and Jeffrey Epstein? It was so good, that clip. I'm sure people saw it.
Yeah, that was, I think
that was sweet.
They did a they did a hip hop thing.
Yeah, and they put the glasses and the thing. Yeah. BlackRock and Vanguard.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit too. I was with Kira. That came up a lot. There's so much going on. How much are you keeping up on this, Jackie? All this stuff that they're talking about.
I try to keep up on everything, but then I end up only knowing a little bit about a lot of stuff because there's so much going on. Like, I think it's a gift to have like YouTube and Rumble and Locals, because people do, you know, they pick and choose their stories, but if you can sample all of them, then you have somewhat of an idea. But I'm no expert. Like that whole story about the deep state, I can't even imagine who's really behind all that. And there's just so many bad people and bad systems in this world. But I do believe that God is on the throne, and people will. I think that goodness will prevail at some point. I just don't know. I don't think it's going to be in my lifetime, but I think it will. Yeah, but it's a dirty, dirty world out there. All you can control is your own world, right? And be the best you can be and try to do the right thing. That's all. and pray, pray, pray.
Absolutely. I think that's right, Mark. With the what you have there, they basically took the food, right? And the warlords, and that's, yeah, Operation Hope. I think that was the right. It's a very smart group here.
It is a smart group.
And listen to this. When we left up, he popped and we sent in the army. My brother was one of them. I was a ranger, Kyle, but I was 15 or something when that happened. Yeah, see, Mark's got some cred, man. He's got some serious street cred. I mean, a ranger, seriously. Yeah, that means Mark can kill you with like this pinky.
You mean like park ranger, like in Yogi Bear?
See, like I said, he can kill you with his pinky and his thumb together, just on the right spot,
and a pack of matches.
Like MacGyver, yeah.
You can MacGyver something and kill you. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to meet Mark now. Maybe we'll keep our distance.
You better bring like some backup or something.
We'll keep our virtual bromance virtual. Yeah, man. Hey, Garcia. I mean, Raymond, how are you? Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, shot twice in the back of the head. Suicide. Right.
Oh,
sure.
Gosh. Yeah, we might have to go
that's
straight.
So terrible. And I mean, that's a very common cause of suicide, is a nail gun 9 times in the back of the head. Happens all the time.
I know they said Kurt Cobain couldn't have done it, but they proved that he could, but he's only shot once.
Well, I'm not really crying about Kurt Cobain so much as I am about people like that. And there was another, if you follow, I mean, even if you go on Joe Rogan, so when he talks about the government programs like MK Ultra, and I mean, there's a lot of people that turned up dead. I mean, it's really, it's disheartening. We need a win tonight. Come on, Harriet, let's do it.
Familiar Spider, thank you so much. I
love that name, Familiar Spider.
The only spider I like is Charlotte. That's it.
I do love Charlotte.
And when she died, I cried. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry. You got to read the book.
Well, living in North Carolina now, I got to get used to the spiders.
By the way, make sure you shake your shoes and kick them, because if you leave them outside, you could get a brown recluse up in you. Oh, did I tell you when I saw a black widow for the first time in the wild?
No, but I know they're very commonplace here. But here's the thing. Biden, how could he even talk about that? He doesn't have the mental capacity. So I guess it was his people. But I mean, even if you told him what to say, we know that he has to have it on black and white paper in front of him to be able to remember what he's supposed to say. How could he talk about something like that sophisticated?
No, they're putting it on the back of his hand now. They're putting it on the back of his hand now. He can read it. I'm just kidding.
Another great video, if anybody needs a little cheering up, is to watch the video when Donald Trump went to see the Prince of Saudi Arabia, and then when Biden went. That is excellent.
Well, I was worried about Trump when he went to Saudi Arabia, because they had that dance where they had the swords around them.
Yeah, but that's a tribute. That's a tribute.
Yeah, but they could have taken him out.
Listen, Donald Trump walked across the DMZ zone in North Korea.
Yeah,
by himself.
Yeah, they could have snatched him. And then it'd been World War III.
Beat that. And I agree with you, Wick. Actually, I'm thinking of getting rid of my smartphone and going to a flip phone. I've been thinking about it for 3 months, and it's getting more and more. I feel it's imperative. I don't even want to have a smartphone anymore.
You've been saying it for weeks.
You gotta keep your kids off social media. Thank God my kids are already big, but 100%. If you want TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat, I'm glad you're a park ranger. We need more park rangers like you.
No, I got to tell you about. Remind me,
and all them picnic baskets.
Hey, boo boo.
Yeah.
Picnic baskets. Hey, good fellow Yogi, come on. Hey, I got to tell you my Gettysburg Park Ranger story. I can't tell you now because it doesn't fit, but just remind me.
All right.
I was pulled over by a Gettysburg Park Ranger.
I'm sure. Oh, hoorah! My brother is a Marine.
Once a Marine, always a Marine. One of my best.
I didn't say my brother was a Marine. I said my brother is a Marine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Raymond.
No, I am. When I saw that, I said, hoorah.
But are you talking about your other brother was a Marine too?
I'm talking about my brother Michael.
I didn't know that.
You never say somebody was a Marine. You always say
true.
is.
That's true. I didn't know Michael was a Marine.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Everybody in my family but me was in the military.
That's mad respect for Mike, man. That's mad respect. I mean, because it's no joke, man. It's no joke.
My mother was in the Air Force. My father was in the Air Force. My sister was in the Navy. My other brother was in the Navy, and my other brother was a Marine.
I'm way behind these comments. Yeah, that's awesome. So I need to give Mike more respect now. Not that I disrespected him, but I think I gotta dap him up from now on. I didn't realize that. Anyway, so yeah, you're right.
Somebody was just having a discussion with your wife, Alexis, and said some people that we know that were just in Portugal, and they said because the dollar is so sound, we had a very good exchange rate, and we're like, okay,
yeah, stop. And I'm
Thank
still
you for your service, and you too, Mark.
Yeah. Well, even as a park ranger, no, that's awesome.
All the rangering that you did,
man, they were mad. They were amazing. Okay, yeah. So Kurt Cobain's fingerprints weren't. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I bet it was that crazy wife of his.
Yeah, with Courtney Love.
Yeah, Courtney.
Yeah. Anyway, I got to relook at that thing then too. Then I didn't realize that.
Oh my goodness! Look what time it is. See, I told you we would blow through that hour.
Did they call it yet?
Let's see if we can get a final count on the numbers.
It was 14,401 for the good guys and 6,964 Satan Spawn. I mean, I'm just Cheney.
I hope Satan Spawn doesn't have a printer press.
Hey, Fred, what?
Well, I'm glad you made it out safe, Raymond.
I'm going to read that. Okay. I was in Somalia when we first took over Mogadishu. Wow. Oh my gosh. It's incredible. Which was a few months before the news show. Interesting. I need to have.
There's so much fake news. We don't even know what the truth
I know.
is.
I mean, it's just, wow. I would love to have someone like that on the show and talk about it, but I don't know if that's something that's appropriate. If you want to come on the show, anybody want to come on the show, just send me an email, Kyle@theconservativetake.com, and we can set up something, interview. It doesn't have to be, it can be a written interview. I can do an article about you. Just curious to me about this stuff. It fascinates me. I want to give you tribute and honor the service you did for our country, because I mean, without you guys, we're not a free country, period. Full stop. Till Americans. Angel Rays. Hey,
That's
Angel,
right.
How are you? So, thank you so much for that. And I saw something just a minute ago about Latinos. Some organization, I think it was Florida, who said they were not going to endorse Trump candidates, even though everyone's going to the Republican Party. It was kind of convoluted. I don't know. I'm going to ignore it for now.
Did they call themselves Latinx?
If these people
That'll be a clue.
If these people do, then I'm sure they're not legitimate. From what I understand, Latinos and Hispanics do not like that name.
I never use it. And actually, I don't even say people are African American, because one time somebody ripped my head off, and I was like, you know what? I don't need it. I'm just going to stick with black.
I'm not going to.
Some people really don't like that.
Yes. Well, yeah, I don't like it. I'm not going to be able to find it. This is it. Here it is. The Republic of National Hispanic Assembly of Florida issues retraction of its endorsement of 3 congressional candidates. They're all Trump-backed. You can look at it for yourself. My friend Heather, I'm sorry. Yeah, Heather doesn't. Yeah,
but when you see those organizations,
yeah,
like you have to do a deep dive and see like they might be
exactly.
a totally left wing.
Exactly. It could be the NAACP, you know. NAACP, we're going to denounce any Trump candidate because we don't believe in Trump because he's not of our skin tone or complexion.
Look what Raymond said. That's funny. You're right. Just let us read it. Be easier. Let's cringy.
I'm sorry.
He said that they should just turn Biden's teleprompter around and let us read it. I get embarrassed. I can't even watch him because I'm so uncomfortable, because I'm so embarrassed for him.
Yeah.
I quit Facebook for almost a year and a half. I went back because I really was missing everybody's birthday and I was missing pictures. But I was solid out of Facebook 100% for a year and a half.
I want to get away from it, but it's part of our business model.
I know.
It's just because it has certain things I can do, and it drives traffic, and I'm a corporate greedy capitalist. I'm sorry.
Well, I like it because I have like a whole bunch of different circles of friends since I moved from Pennsylvania to New York and now I'm in North Carolina. I'm old. I got a lot of groups on there that I would totally lose touch with without that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the dance of swords is the highest honor.
I didn't realize what they were doing. I was terrified. You know what I mean?
No, I
like,
knew it was something cool.
Yeah, it was definitely cool. It was definitely cool. But I was like, ah!
I'm
Where's
sure
the
that
Secret
actually
Service? If I was Secret Service, I would have my Uzi trained on them.
Now the prince's people and Trump's people, they probably already had a discussion and said when the plane lands and you walk up, we're going to do this dance of swords. It's going to be cool. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, besides, Saudi Arabia does not want to mess with America in general because that's not smart. I mean,
well, that's how it used to be.
Yeah. Oh, the good old days. Let me see. I'm losing stuff here. Hoorah! I'm gonna go through some
comments. That's right, baby.
I
see. Okay, so he said hoorah is the army, oorah is the Marines.
Oh, really? Let's go back to that. Who said that?
Raymond. Our number
Raymond
one
said that,
Marine
but who said
here?
that? Oh, here we go. Okay, he said both. Okay, so hoorah is the army, and hoorah is the Marines. What's Space Force? It's probably nothing because you can't say anything in space.
Like a weird noise. Yeah.
There's no sound in space. So it's like. By the way, Space Force is expanding their power. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. My next door neighbor is a Green Beret too. Matter of fact, it's a man, his wife, and 3 grown kids. Everybody in his whole family was in the army. I love it when they have what is that day?
Let's go back to I'm sorry.
I think it's not Veterans Day, Armed Forces Day. And so him and my mother have a contest to have the most flags out front for people in your family for the branches of service.
Really?
Yeah.
I was actually at a function where they had all the flags up there, but they were missing Space Force. I was pissed.
Well, you know what? I haven't seen the Space Force flag.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I love special forces in general. I mean, you're in the military, you're already serving, and then you take it to another level, right? So the Rangers were the ones that stormed the beach at Normandy, right?
Oh my God! When you look at those pictures, I thought it was multiple branches that stormed the beach.
Of course, it definitely. I mean, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I'm thinking about Private Ryan. They were Rangers, yeah.
Well, I think that we have to have a moment of silence for the ballots we hope they don't magically appear.
Kind of like get a 40 ounce and then pour it out for the homies.
Yeah, pour it out. Pour some ink out for the ballots. They're not going to make it.
That's terrible. That's a terrible thing to say, Jackie.
That's how it is now, baby. You got to keep it real.
I don't like keeping it real. I like keeping it unreal. Sometimes I like keep my head in the sand. When things were really hitting the creek, I was watching things that were totally oblivious to anything in reality. I was watching Madden football championships on the internet. I was like, I don't care. And then I realized, I got to get back to life. But for those 2 hours, I was in bliss.
I've been watching the salmon cam, the Africam. There's so many live cams of animals all over the world.
Isn't it amazing?
And sometimes I watch it for hours because I can't hear any more news.
Send me some of those live streams. I had a big, we're really digressing here. I apologize, guys. But I was really digressing on that where I did like trains where I was like, they have videos now where you can travel through Europe in hours and just watch. You're on the front of the train, like, and it's like, and doing that. And then I did the live cameras, like you're talking about, with like the African safari and the animals and stuff. And then I got into road trips where people would drive from California to New York for like a 30 hour. They would cut it down. Video.
Yeah, I like to watch the edited version of that.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of stuff. Sometimes you just can't take anymore.
No.
You just can't take anymore.
100%, I guess. Perfect. And the passports, can you believe that? I heard that he got them back today, though. Took his passports.
Yes, he is. It's the Trilateral Commission. That's who's behind all this deep state stuff.
All right, Jack, I don't want to keep you forever. I told you an hour, but we've been here for an hour and a half. So I mean,
know.
If you want to, I mean, I think right now we're at 21%. I'm not ready to call it yet, but it looks like, oh yeah, this might be a done deal, dude. I think
What does it say? 22.
Well, Laramie County says 53% votes counted, 7,300 for the good guys, 5,800 for the evil spawn. Now she's only up 12 or 11, but it's a high population center, so there's not going to be anywhere else for her to make up votes. So if she's winning this county at 0.5%, if you project that on out, depending on what's left in terms of what types of ballots, like you said, oh yeah, we still have 10 million ballots that haven't been, that have been dropped off at the last minute. We don't know that. So
we have this airplane hangar packed with cartons of ballots that we forgot to tell you about.
Yep. So
you say Cheney and nothing else on them, no other categories, no other votes, just a check mark for Cheney, and that's all.
So here's the thing. I think we wrap this thing up in a few minutes here, and what we do is, I promise if anything changes, I'll jump right back on and do something. I may keep the stream open. In fact, I will do that. I'll keep the stream open for the next couple of hours, and I'll sign up on the thing. What do you think?
I will say one more time. I have to say we need to have a live thing where all your followers, somebody could call in, Mark could call in, Baguettes, Raymond, all these people could call in, Mark Jackson, and then we can have a easier conversation.
Well, the best way to do that, I'll tell you offline there. I found the way of doing it, but I messed up the setup, so I got to figure it out. But it's really easy. Yeah, we can do that. Definitely.
I think that'd be great.
I'm going to tell you, use Google Voice number. You get a phone that doesn't have one assigned to it, have a Google Voice number. And if you mess up, you can't do it because they lock you in that you can't use your phone again. We can't use another Google Voice on that phone. Once you do that, then you just use the software to pipe it through your, feed into StreamYard or wherever you want to go using virtual cables. And that lets you do it.
Do you have to have the cut button available?
Well, it's going to be jury rigged. So we mean cut? Like,
if somebody would call up and start saying curses and
whatever. you want a third person to run that operation.
We'll have Alexis on the with her finger on the button.
Right, exactly. And I think you can do a delay too. So. Oh
yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
So, all right. So I'm going to go through the rest of these comments here, and then I'm going to wrap the stream up, and then you can jump off anytime you like. Obviously, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not Biden. Let me see. Let's go through this quickly. I know the vice chair.
Oh,
we need to get Colorado back in our camp. Colorado, we need to get them back. We need to turn Colorado like we did Virginia, back to red. And by the way, our friend Marty is from Colorado, and he said it was so deep red, and how they changed it was so notorious. It was
well, they're all high as a kite now. I can't imagine what they think of us. I really can't. I mean, I know if you watch Sky News, they talk about it all the time.
What? No, I'm not following. What's bid dumb?
They're talking about our illustrious POTUS and how he's an embarrassment. And if you watch Sky News, they come right out and say, "Look at this idiot!" Like they do not play.
My side hurts from laughing too much. Wix, thank you so much for the input, guys. Space Force. Nice. Hey, Mark, you have some little challenge here on some humor here. You might have to.
Well, you have a lot of followers that are very pro-military, and I like that.
But he's got some humor, though.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He didn't get to be president of the Colorado Hispanics by not making jokes.
Hold on. I missed that. I thought he was a friend of he was the president.
Yeah, what did I just say? He didn't get to be the president without making the vice chair. Excuse me. He didn't get to be vice chair.
Gotcha.
Not having a sense of humor.
Exactly. I don't trust people who don't have any sense of humor at all.
Me neither.
I mean, I'll like you. We can get along, but I don't really trust you because not that I don't trust you that you harm me, but I don't trust you that I can't say anything around you because you might not think it's funny, and then we're no longer friends.
I just don't. People that don't have a sense of humor, the way they think isn't good.
Yeah, right there. This could offend somebody right here. I bet you get white progressive liberals in. Oh, okay. Yeah, I bet he does. Absolutely. Anytime you go against a narrative, anytime you don't fall in line, I can't believe that you're a black person voting for this person. How can you do that?
Please. Traitors. Y'all traitors to your people.
I get that all the time, man. It pisses me off.
I know.
Just call me a coon. I'd rather have that.
Well, it depends on what she has up her sleeve as far as fake ballots and scam votes, I guess.
Okay. Thank you, Mark, for I'm coming on.
I'll pray for him, Mark.
For your dad. Yep. I understand you, Mark. Thank you so much. I'll email you on your last email. So cool. And by the way, I know Mark's real name.
What is it, like Lark? Like one letter off? Lark Paxson?
Yeah, he's pretty clever. I wouldn't, Which way? I know the name that he's giving me. I put it that way.
Raymond, how many Raymond Garcias on Facebook are they, though? There's probably like 200.
Well, Raymond, I don't know. Maybe Raymond, not so much. How many Raymonds have you ever met
right now?
Well, I'm sure there's a bunch. I mean, Facebook's got, 2 billion users?
But if I put Colorado, that might help.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we should probably hook up on if you're on Facebook, if you're whatever, just let me put it up here. It's just Kyle Suggs, I think.
Oh, here he is. Raymond Garcia for Colorado.
I think I'm just Kyle Suggs, I think.
Did you do a show about Brittany Griner?
I did. It's got 24,000 views on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one freaked me out because I woke up, it had like 10,000 views on it overnight. I was like, whoa, that's not normal. But that's the topic that everybody wanted to talk about at that moment. That's another weird thing.
That's a whole.
I mean, I don't dislike her, but my big thing is the irony. We have to understand the irony. That's why people are following it. Rocky Mountain Heist blueprint.
He's talking about the takeover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you know what? None of this could happen, even because all of us were not paying enough attention. Same as the way our education system got so left. There's a lot of things in this country because we were asleep at the wheel. Yeah, I found it. I just followed you.
Send it to me, Jackie, so I won't have to look it up, please.
Okay.
Or just give me a screen print. I mean, I can find it, but
I got
it. Cool. I would like to interview you, Raymond, actually. In fact, what would be a good idea, Raymond? If you don't, I don't know how you feel about being on air. You can do audio if you want. Have you come on the Marty Chronicles show because you may even know each other. His name's Marty Nalitz, and he can interview you or talk to you about him, or just a thought. Just reach out to me once I friend you on Facebook. Okay, I think we're at the end of our comments. I think that's a good place to stop. I'll do a quick refresh here. And whoa, okay, wrong one. Look at different. So it's still about 21 points. Cheyenne County looks like it's still 11 points. She's up big time in Sweetwater. Casper looks like that's the city, I guess. Not Jerome County. She's up everywhere. She's not up in one county here. This is Tenton County. She's down 80% to 20. But I wonder what's to the left of Wyoming. Something's going on over there to make it that liberal. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. But other than that one county, it looks like in this 3 here that have not reported, 1 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 have not even reported anything. 9.
It's too early.
Yeah, it's really, because only 27 really have actually, so we're only a quarter of the way in. So I don't know Wyoming that well. So if this was North Carolina, I could tell you exactly what's going to happen because I know the area, but I don't know here.
I'm just checking the national news and they don't have it yet. Anything out yet? Anything solid?
All right. Well, let's call it here. We're done with the. We have one couple more comments. Democrats for sleepers. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the comments here and just thank people who've come on, and then we're going to close this bad boy out. I'll keep the feed up for a while. I'll mute everything to make sure you don't hear me run up and down the stairs and whatever, and we'll call it. So let's do this first. So I want to thank Sunshine Happy Lady, Mark Jackson, of course, Taylor Nicholson from coming on. If I missed somebody, I apologize. A Man and a Half, Capital J, The Gets, lots of great comments, and statistics and background knowledge from them. Capital J again, Mike McCormick, thank you so much for your post on USA. Wick, fantastic. Thank you for seeing you for the first time, I think. Let me see, who else do we have? Taylor Nicholson and Pyro Rob 69. He talked about the cops there and talking about Cheney and the T-shirt and Man and a Half for Franklin. So I think that's everybody else. Let me see. Looks like Angel Rays. Thank you so much. Raymond Garcia again. Thank you. I think that's it, Jackie. Do you want to say anything before we close this out?
No, just I love the comments. I love the interaction, and thanks everybody.
Yeah, I really do. So with that, I'm just gonna leave it here, and I'm not even gonna do anything.
See you next time.
I mean, it's free to me. I pay a monthly fee, so I might as well just keep it up. So, all right. So everybody, thank you so much. We'll leave this on the screen here if that matters to you. Maybe you don't care, and we'll see you. If anything changes, I'll be back on. Okay. All right. See
Good
ya.
night. Good night, Kyle.
Bye-bye. time in the not so distant past where we had things called variety shows. You know, shows like the Carol Burnett Show, the Flip Wilson Show, the Dick Van Dyke. Okay, well, never mind that. But what they were was shows that showed a variety of content, sort of like what we have here at the Conservative Take. We have a variety of content such as the Marty Chronicles, which is Marty Nalitz, which is a guy who's been doing this for a long time. No offense, Marty, but you are really experienced, and he gives a more matter-of-fact sense to current events as they happen and a more analytical approach. And then we have Nicole Kaufman, who is our right therapist, who is a clinical therapist, who gives us the skinny on the woke culture that's coming on around us and the actual technical reasons why people are acting so, well, whatever. And so, but again, that is the disclaimer there. We don't have licensed therapy, so just remember that. Also, we have content like on my show, The Kyle Suggs Show, which I will do, which live streams, all kind of cool stuff. We have that live Friday night show sometimes I hook up with a person by the name of Kira Bowlby. She is a young person, has cool ideas, and we are sponsored by Red Liberty Media, which I happen to be a contributor to as well. And of course, I can't forget Jackie, who co-pilots with me on many spontaneous live streams. And so with that, we have other things as well, like we do in terms of the culture. And it's all about pop culture and politics and making sure that we can put those together, because engaging the culture through politics is what it's all about. In fact, we do political things like predictions for elections, midterms, live streams regarding that. We do movie reviews involving pop culture in general and how that affects our lives.
And already people are posting their reaction to the film. Here's one.
Uncle Tom, normally a derogatory term pointed at Black conservatives, is now a feature-length film. And also we do things such as exposés, where we take news and we put it into a documentary style setting. So what I recommend is, if you like what we do and like one aspect of it, take a look at our playlists. They're all broken out individually, so you can subscribe to those as well, or just subscribe to everything and you get it all. And again, this is a YouTube video, so we can't tell you everything we do, but if you want to know more, go to our website at theconservativetake.com. Much more content out there available as well. We're on Discord and other areas too that you can engage as well. So thank you for listening. And next time when you hear us say taking pop culture and politics and filtering to your right, you'll have an inkling of what we're talking about. Oh, sorry, I think I dropped something on my shirt. Anyway. Hello, everybody. If you're still there, I'm still on. I'm monitoring the results. And right now it looks like there are 47% of the votes counted. And without really knowing much about Wyoming, it appears that actually looks like they called it. This is called. Wow. All right. So never mind. So, all right. So I guess the stream's back on. We should have stuck it out a little bit longer. So let me bring the stream back and let me go to the video. I suspected that this would be called early, and I guess 2 hours is early as you can expect for a state like Wyoming. But good job for getting those votes counted. I mean, there was really no way for her to come back and win this. The votes just weren't there. And if you look at the population center of Cheyenne, I mean, she's up, I mean, huge. And that's why they pretty much said that there's just no way at this point. So that's it. So it appears that, not appears, it is official. Harriet Hageman has defeated Liz Cheney and is now the incoming congresswoman for the state of Wyoming. And Liz Cheney is a member who is not in good standing of the Republican Party. Rebuke and reprove. Thank you so much for that. Not sure how long I'm going to stay on here, but I was glad at least I was able to stay on here. So what I'm probably going to do at this point in time is jump on over to Truth Social and do some stuff over there. And I'll keep this feed open for a little while, and I'll come back and wrap everything up. Right now, there's no more questions, so I'm just going to keep this pretty short here. And so with that, I'm just going to kick back over to the screen, and we'll call it a wrap. I'll see you back here in a little bit. All right, let's get back on. I got some people still in here. I'm not sure if you're paying attention or not. We have several on Rumble as well. And I may kick this on over to Rumble, but for now, I'll leave it here on YouTube and Facebook as well. And so what I'm going to do real quickly is just go over some of the chatter that's going on looks like Truth Social. And let's just do that. So I got my feed up and just go through. I put a post out there. Let me do a refresh. And so this person here has a couple of pictures of her, Liz Cheney, out in the private sector, packing her bags, giving McDonald's and all that. It's pretty funny. And I put this out here just a minute ago, literally. I said, we ended our live stream at 10:38 Eastern Standard Time. That's probably about right. That's about right. That's about right. And I go upstairs to do some chores and come back on at 10:55 and my computer to see the great news. Liz Cheney is done. Gosh, I should have held on for a few more minutes. I should have. What was I thinking? I missed the announcement because it was funny because I was actually on the site, which I'll bring it up right here. And I'm looking at this. I'm trying to go through some analysis. I'm saying, yeah, Cheyenne County has this. And she's, oh, wow, 56%. That's pretty amazing. And then I said, that should be enough to win. And I come up and I see a check mark by Harriet Hageman's name. And that was it. Once I saw Cheyenne, which I'm assuming is the biggest population center in Wyoming, that's going to be a wrap. Because typically they hold those out for to hold those out before they can actually declare anything for the reasons more people live there and more votes can come in and whatnot. And so that is it. So she's a lame duck, but she's going to be on this committee, of course, to, I guess, save face. And she's going to run for office, of course. And my wife asked me, why do people run for office when they know for a fact that they're not going to win? Why do they do that? Why do people run for office when they know for a fact that they're not going to win? And I told her it's simply this: they can raise money. They can raise money. Once you form a political action committee, which is essentially what a campaign is, it's a different section of one category, but essentially it has certain guidelines, similar to a 401k or anything like that, where you can have money go in, but it can't go out to anything that's non-retirement, or in this case, non-political vehicle. And so they raise money for themselves and for other candidates. And I'm not sure if there's any limit in that or whether or not they can have that money in perpetuity. If so, everybody should run for office if that's the case, because you can use that money, again, not for yourself, but you can use it for other candidates. You can use it for future campaigns and whatnot. So if you're a popular candidate like she is in some circles, maybe not Republican circles, then that's what she'll try and do. Plus, she'll get book deals and notoriety. She'll get when you're running a campaign, you can get interviews. People think you're somebody, and there's a lot of power behind it in some ways, or false power. But once election night happens, that's when people realize, you know what? You got to win this thing. Otherwise, you're a nobody. After you lose, nobody cares about you anymore. But at least you can raise some money. So that's why I think she's going to do. So let me jump over here to True Social and come down to some messages here. This is from Dinesh D'Souza. He said, Liz Cheney didn't lose because she took on Trump. She lost because she took on her own constituents. In which, really, to me, it's the same thing, because Trump is a person of the people. But I see what he's saying. She refused to represent them. She came to believe that she was better than them. Now, I definitely believe that. If I go back to, let's say, Elizabeth Dole, and I'm not trying to say she felt she was better. Don't get me wrong on that. But when you have people who are removed from the people and they've been in a bubble for so long, it's very difficult for them to identify with those people. And if you're a person like Liz Cheney, who obviously has shown her colors, she has other issues on top of all that in terms of integrity. And so, so she really is the kind of person who just didn't care and felt that, like he says here, possessed and upheld, that she felt that she alone possessed and upheld the truth, like she was that person. And now today the voters themselves have put into this delusional BS. And so that's a good perspective. I hadn't thought about that, but that's pretty cool. Let me see here. What else do we have? Let me see if I can do a search on Liz Cheney, because that's probably where we're going to see most of our action. Let me see if I can find the hashtag. So anyway, I hope everybody got a chance to check out the live stream. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I thought that we got a lot of interaction with the people. And I thought that, let's see if we can find a good discussion going on. And I thought that was really good. So let's see. Okay, 1,800 people talking about it. Let's see what's going on here. So you got someone here who's a Mitt Romney guy who's, it's funny, these people out here say this stuff, but they really can't possibly mean what they say. This person here says, bye-bye, Liz Cheney. I hope you'll enjoy being a world-class loser that you are. Being destroyed in your own state. Yeah, okay, people are talking. Of course, she's a rhino. These memes are interesting. You know, I don't do a lot of those kind of memes, but I think they do underlay a sentiment of society that we're just tired of this type of politician. We're tired of it. And the same reason why President Trump won was because he was not this kind of politician. I mean, he was an outsider. He was a business guy doing his thing. He saw a country that he loved not being treated properly domestically and abroad, and decided to put his foot into the fight, into the race. And we know the rest of the story. So let's see. Wrongful thinker, Juan. Yeah, Ron, I actually was going to end the discussion and go to bed, but since it's been called, there's some news to talk about. We ended this live stream literally at about 10:38. And I should have gone 2 hours, but for some reason, because I was up literally from 8 o'clock to about 3 o'clock when Carrie Lake in Arizona went to her thing. So I didn't want to do that again. So I had to call it at some point and had to be respectful for Jackie's time. And plus I had other things I had to do. So I went upstairs, I came back downstairs, and lo and behold, she had won. Yep. Facebook. Yep. I'm not too big on them. They do help me out in terms of algorithms and getting some things up. Because I do have a pretty decent following on Facebook, even though I'm pretty shadow banned there for the most part, which is okay because, you know, I have certain people that are going to respond to what I do, and that helps me gauge when I put it out there in a more formal setting. And I consider formal, I consider that being Parler or Truth Social or even Getter, which I don't get on much more anymore, and our website. And so it's like a testing ground. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so let me go back to this screen here. I think I took it off. So, okay, so CNN projects Liz Cheney loses Wyoming primary within 2 hours. I mean, she got throttled. And it looks like the polling was right on there. Let's see if I can pull that up. If I can. Pull that up. I gotta go around my thing here. Let's do this right. My microphone's way in the way, guys. That's why I'm doing this. One day I'll get a better setup. Let's take a look at the polling, because I know for a fact that it was pretty bad. It was like, I think she was up 30 points at one point in one poll. And Of course, they changed the site on me. Oh, there's a search. Okay, great. All right, this is old news. What do I want? Oh, here we go. That's where I was. Okay. I was in the wrong spot. So we're on the 16th. Why isn't Wyoming on here? Interesting. Oh, these are just polls. These aren't actual elections. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So yeah, so what I wanted to point out is the fact that the actual polling spread here is about the same as the actual result. So 29-point lead there, 22-point lead there. There's no aggregate in terms of this. And looks like she's right in that ballpark. So I'm pretty shocked that it will stay that way, but it is what it is. And I'm glad. And so we have to continue on. And we need to get more of these people out. Now, unfortunately, tonight, which I don't think Alaska is going to be called at this point, but Alaska also is going on right now. And Alaska is a different type of deal where it's a top-down ranked voting where everyone is in the same primary, Democrats and Republicans. And I believe the top two go to the general. And that's advantage Lisa Murkowski. And so I think she's probably going to pull that one out, even though there's not a lot of polling data coming out of Alaska. You just can't find any decent polls out of Alaska. So who's to say how that's going to turn out? So that would be great if Lisa could go out. And by the way, on that note, I put out a video today. I'm going to bring it up here on True Social. This video was one I did talking about the candidates or the people who voted against the who voted for impeachment. And there are 10 of them. And in this video, I actually cover where they are today. And if you check out that video, it's about 7 minutes long. You can see it for yourself. And I think it's pretty good. In this video, it's right, no, that's not it. But here it is, right here. It's called Here's How the 10 Republicans Who Voted to Impeach President Trump Did. Or I renamed it today to Are Doing Today. And like I said, it's about 7 minutes long. And it goes through all of the things that these people had to deal with once they went against the party and went against Trump. And 8 out of 10, it didn't turn out well for them. I can say that definitively now because Liz Cheney is no more. So, so yeah, if you check that out, by the way, I give a plug to my channel. This is our live stream. We just finished up. We wrapped. In fact, this is the live stream we're looking at right now. It's still going on. It started about 8 o'clock. So it's going to go probably for another 15 minutes at least. And check that out if you get a chance. I had some good discussion in there. A lot of interesting stuff there. I'll talk about this post here. This is from Sarah Taco on Facebook. She posts really good stuff. She retweeted this from Rosary Extremist Pozo about the DOJ affidavit, how it's based on that New York Times article Maggie H. wrote a while back, mixed in with hearsay and innuendo. That's why they won't release it. I mentioned in the live stream just a minute ago about that particular affidavit and why Trump is asking for it, because I feel that he knows that this is true. And if it gets released, people are going to know it's full of crap and there's nothing substantial about it, and therefore cut the witch hunt. So I think that's a good approach. And I believe today I heard that they are entertaining that. And I put a tweet out here. I keep saying tweet. I'll put a truth out here on that, talking simply about how I think it's going to pan out. Essentially, I said, look, they're either going to release it unredacted, unlikely, redacted, likely, or heavily redacted, very likely, or not at all. And I think it's going to be probably not at all or heavily redacted, because of the reasons I just mentioned. So let me go back to my search for Liz Cheney because I want to kind of focus on that because that is the live stream. This is not dealing with anyone else really, but that did come up in the discussion. So I at least want to talk about that. So here we go. Here, political hacks blame Trump for their career failures. Okay, so this is a good meme here. Let's take this one. Take a look at this one. So Feinstein, 60 years in government. My first impression of her, she had a Chinese spy that she drove around with for years. No one cared about. She had insider trading that they wouldn't go after. They want to go after representative from North Carolina. That would be, I think it was Burr. They went after him for that, but she did the same thing and no big deal for her to do it. You know, Chuck Schumer, what can you say about him? And Maxine Waters, total grifter, doesn't care about her constituents, doesn't even live in the area of California. It's been a total, nightmare since then. And then you have Patrick Leahy. We know about him. I mean, I think he should be indicted for what he said on the Hill under oath. You have Joe Biden. we know about that. And Liz and Pelosi. I didn't realize that Pelosi was actually working in California with the whole thing with Milk when he was assassinated, and she took over for governor when the mayor was killed. I think his name was Harvey Milk when he was killed as well the same day. That she got her start, her national prominence by becoming the mayor. I believe at that point. I believe I got that right. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not her. Maybe it's Feinstein. I think it's Feinstein. I got it backwards. So it wasn't Pelosi. It was Feinstein. But it doesn't matter. One of those two got in that way. And they all blame Trump for 3 years in government for the problems they haven't solved for decades. Now, I thought this was about Liz Cheney, but it wasn't. But it wasn't a waste of time. I mean, it was good to talk about that, I guess. Some of these memes are really pretty awesome. Congratulations to Harriet Hageman on your resounding victory tonight. Wyoming voters spoke loud and clear and told the nation that we are done playing political games in Congress and rhinos will be kicked out by Liz Cheney. We did a video back in the day a little bit, and if you look at the video we put up today, we actually mentioned it about how we could take the Senate back. And it's going to be going after people like Cheney and not accepting anyone other than people who have America First principles at heart. Because we have to look out for America. If we don't look out for the interests of America, then we don't have a country, as Trump would say. That starts with your borders. Your immigration policy needs to be tightened up. It needs to be locked down, and it needs to be limited initially. It isn't just about stopping immigration. We need to find people who are here illegally, get them out, and stop bringing people in until we have a proper mechanism for getting people in on a merit-based system. It goes way beyond just building a wall and keep people coming in. We need to get people out who are here illegally. We need to find a way to get the DACA law resolved in court, and the Supreme Court needs to go up there. We need to have settled law in that and have a policy that works for everybody. I have my opinion on that, but I am honest enough to say that I don't have an opinion on it in terms of what can be done. I have an opinion of what should be done, but the Constitution has to go through that realm, and we need to look at that in the way that the framers wanted it and act accordingly. But that's the lesser of the two. Stop the flow, kick people out who are here illegally, and then we can deal with DACA later. That's number one. Then we got to deal with the crime situation. We have to deal with making sure that criminals are persecuted. We have to go after DAs who are not doing their jobs, who are not enforcing the law. They're not people who make the laws. They're people who enforce the laws. The courts interpret the law to make sure it's constitutional. The Congress, state legislation, they make the laws, and then your governor and your president actually enforce the laws. That's how it should be, and we must have a checks and balances in place. And then we need to go after our education system. We need to make sure that our kids are being taught proper education. And there are laws on textbooks all across the state. I dare say probably all 50 states that say textbooks must be accurate. So what do? You remove all the lies out of the textbook, period, and leave it like that. Leave it like that. Take all the lies out of the textbook, and that's all you need to do. Everything else will take care of itself. Simple as that. And then from there, we restore patriotism. We need to look across our borders and make sure that our tentacles are not being compromised to our enemies abroad. Make sure we have a strong national defense. And those are the kind of things we need to start doing. And also, let's look at our tax system. We need to revamp that. We need to go into it. And quite frankly, we need to look at the Internal Revenue Service and look at it in a way in which if you're going to tax because I think it's the 18th Amendment made it constitutional, it is what it is, then we need to go to another system. I say try the fair tax, because the bureaucracy that we have now is not working. And there's so many things that we can do. Of course, regulations on our farmlands and make sure we can produce our own products, make sure we have a labor force that are skilled in trades, not necessarily college. And that's going to build us up. And all of these things have to happen. And it's a huge job. And that's the kind of candidates that we need to be looking for when it comes to taking back our Senate. If they don't have those ideas in mind, it doesn't have to be exactly that. I mean, if you don't like the fair tax, whatever, you want to go to the 999 plan, like or the Venezuelan plan, like Herman Cain said, then whatever, we have a discussion. But when debate is shut down and when you're looked at as you call it what you want to call it, any kind of ism you want to call it, that the left will call you whatever they want to call you to shut down discussion so that you will no longer be in the playing field of ideas because they don't know how to deal with you because their ideas can't compete. So anyway, I'm rambling here a little bit, but what is this here? Okay, just going through some stuff here. Liz Cheney. Okay, we'll probably leave it right here. So, okay, right now it is, right now I'm going 2 hours and a half. Yeah, we're definitely going to call it here. It's 11:30. If you're just joining us, Liz Cheney has been defeated in Wyoming by Harriet Hagelman. She, if I can find the final vote tally here so far, looks like she's down 31. Wow, she's getting throttled, man. Wow. She's down 33 points now. Of course, it was 64% reporting. This is a thorough beatdown. This is a repudiation at the highest. If this total stands right now, then this is just going to be just way beyond my imagination. And I'm going to have to retract my statement saying that she only win by 5, only because I was jaded with what happened with Arizona. But in fairness to Wyoming, Arizona GOP, just like Georgia, is terrible. They're horrible. And that's why that happened in those two states, Georgia and Arizona. All righty. So with that, I'll leave this as the last thing we see. And I'm going to go people who are just on here, rebuke and reprove. Thank you so much. Wrong Thinker, Juan 23, Dave the Mace, Grateful, Nighty Night. Thank you. And Russia Bot, 64 to 31. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Okay, so do some house cleaning here a little bit. If you've been new to this channel, take a look at what we got going on. We have a locals channel that we use for Rumble, and that allows us to put content up that we really can't put up on YouTube. So we have a YouTube members that I put videos up, but you're still under the umbrella of YouTube, so you can't save it so much. But we do have people that support us there. But on locals, you can go on there. You can subscribe for free. If you want to try the first month for free, there's more content behind that. It's Brandon. That's going to be the promo code. So the conservative take.locals.com. Use promo code Brandon if you want a month of premium. Otherwise, just sign up for free. There's more content out there as well. I just put a video up last night or night before last. I do live streams just about every week on that. And Yeah, so check out our website at theconservativetake.com. And we just put a video up on YouTube today, 2 videos. Well, this video, of course, and the other one was going to be on a promo. It's about a 3-minute video that I'll play right now on the way out. And after I do that, then that would be the end of the stream. So everyone, I appreciate it so much. Check out this video that we did just today, and it's our promo video that's going to be playing on YouTube channel and mostly in most of our live streams. In the intro, it gives a little bit of humor of what we do and what our approach is to this channel and what we're trying to do with the conservative take. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, and I will see you guys in the next video. Time in the not so distant past where we had things called variety shows. You know, shows like the Carol Burnett Show, the Flip Wilson Show, the Dick Van Dyke. Okay, well, never mind that. Yeah, but what they were was shows that showed a variety of content, sort of like what we have here at the Conservative Take. We have a variety of content such as the Marty Chronicles, which is Marty Nalitz, which is a guy who's been doing this for a long time. No offense, Marty, but you are really experienced, and he gives a more matter-of-fact sense to current events as they happen and a more analytical approach. And then we have Nicole Kaufman, who is our right therapist, who is a clinical therapist, who gives us the skinny on the woke culture that's coming on around us and the actual technical reasons why people are acting so, well, you know, whatever. And so, but again, that is the disclaimer there. We don't have licensed therapy, so just remember that. Also, we have content like on my show, The Kyle Suggs Show, which I will do, which live streams, all kind of cool stuff. We have that live Friday night show with, sometimes I hook up with a person by the name of Kira Bowlby. She is a young person, has cool ideas, and we are sponsored by Red Liberty Media, which I happen to be a contributor to as well. And of course, I can't forget Jackie, who co-pilots with me on many spontaneous live streams. And so with that, we have other things as well, like we do in terms of the culture. And it's all about pop culture and politics and making sure that we can put those together, because engaging the culture through politics is what it's all about. In fact, we do political things like predictions for elections, midterms, live streams regarding that. We do movie reviews involving pop culture in general and how that affects our lives.
And already people are posting their reaction to the film. Here's one.
Uncle Tom, normally a derogatory term pointed at Black conservatives, is now a feature-length film. And also we do things such as exposés where we take news and we put it into a documentary style setting. So what I recommend is, if you like what we do and like one aspect of it, take a look at our playlists. They're all broken out individually, so you can subscribe to those as well, or just subscribe to everything and you get it all. And again, this is a YouTube video, so we can't tell you everything we do, but if you want to know more, go to our website at theconservativetake.com. Much more content out there available as well. We're on Discord and other areas too that you can engage as well. So thank you for listening. And next time when you hear us say, taking pop culture and politics and filtering to your right, you'll have an inkling of what we're talking about. Oh, sorry, I think I dropped something on my shirt. Anyway,